It's time for another huge Googan Squad unboxing. Let's go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fishing with Gramps. If you're looking for unboxing videos, reviews, how-tos, tips, tricks, and more, you've come to the right spot. For those who've been following along the channel, you saw my last video where I gave a sneak peek and a quick little tiny reveal of my new Lowe fishing boat. We'll get more into that once we get some weather where I can actually pull it out of the garage, do a full review, walkthrough, and prepare it as we get ready for spring to start fishing again. All that being said, revealing the boat might explain a little bit why I've been stacking up so many rods, reels, and so much tackle. Last year I did a little bit of bank fishing, spent most of my time in a kayak, loving that Old Town Sportsman PDL 106. But let me pause for a second and explain a few things. If you've been following the channel for a little bit, you know that I used to tournament fish way back in the day when my kids were really small. And if I just wanted to start fishing again and just make YouTube videos on bass fishing, I could easily rebuild my arsenal by going back and getting the G. Loomis Shimano rods, a bunch of Shimano Corrado reels, which the Corrados were what I fished my tournament days with. And then I could go easily to Walmart or Tackle Warehouse and stock up on Strike King, Rage Bugs, Rage Crawls, Berkeley Power Worms, all of the Rapala crankbaits that I used to throw, bandits, so forth and so on. I know my staples, I know my favorites. So I started out with some Lowe's rods and reels, Bandito bugs from the Googan Squad, things like that. Trying new bait companies and new things that have come out since the last time I was on the water. And as you can see, I built up quite a bit of Googan Squad baits and so forth. Why did I start with them? I won't lie, I love Lake Fork Guy. I love the videos that John B puts out, his adventure documentaries. You may or may not like them, that's on you, but they do attract and bring a lot of people to bass fishing. And one of the things that that group of guys have done is expose the fishing industry for what they are. The guys who only want to support the pros, the guys who are fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series, the MLF. And I ain't gonna lie, I still follow bass. I'm watching the Bassmaster Elite Series down the St. Johns River on my computer right now, and I'm also watching pre-race stuff for the Daytona 500 over on my big screen. I like professional bass fishing. I like the big tournaments. I don't do much tournament fishing anymore. I'll dabble here and there with kayak fishing tournaments because, hey, that's pretty fun as well. And for me, it's something new. But again, what the Googans did was they proved that a bunch of YouTubers can get together after being ignored by the industry and work with the manufacturer and put out the baits that they want. Something not only to promote their brand, but to come up with their own ideas for baits and so forth and so on. Now you can get into the whole they copied this and that, this and that. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Everything that's out these days is literally a copy of something else that's already been done. Crankbaits were invented in the 30s, and crankbaits were literally the brainchild of Bill Russell when he came up with the rattle trap, which was literally his old beater station wagon. But again, I don't care about all that. What I want to do is go out and look and evaluate all of the stuff that's out on the market and tell you, is it worth it or not? Does it work? Obviously, I've had good success with some of the Googan Squad baits, or I wouldn't be buying more of them because I don't care about all the internet drama. I just don't care. Rob Turkla, Lunkers TV, is out trying to make it as a professional bass angler. I wish him nothing but the best, and I'll be watching right along because I know firsthand how hard it really is to go out and win bass tournaments, let alone even score. He got his ass handed to him in his first tournament. His co-anglers outfished him, but that's part of it. But you know what? He's going to pay his bills either way, and all the money he puts into those tournaments are paying towards the guys who actually wins. I like a lot of what the Googan Squad guys do. They bring more people to bass fishing, which is literally exactly what I am trying to do. So again, we're going to get into all kinds of different baits, rods, reels, boats, things like that. And as we progress along in my next few videos, you'll see exactly what I mean by that. One of you in the comment section caught a little sneak preview of something that I had sitting in my last video, so that you know I'm just not playing favorites. But we'll explain more about that later. But today, let's talk about what I got in, and this is something geared towards the boat. So as you already know, I've already collected the Googan Squad Gold Series Muscle Rod and Go-To Rod, and today I'm going to show the next 3 rods that I'm going to add to the boat. Now, if you want to see the videos for those Googan Squad Go-To and Muscle Rods, go watch the playlist up here for my bass fishing reviews and unboxings, and you'll see them in there. You'll see how I expect actual shipping companies to ship their rods in the solid tubes and the techniques that they should use that look out for you. And Shop Carl's does an excellent job. Them and Tackle Warehouse are my 2 favorite guys who ship rods because they know how to do it right. So these rods I've already inspected. I've untubed. I guess I can't call this an untubing video since I've already taken them out of their round boxes. But we'll go ahead and talk about the next 3 rods that I've picked up for my boat. The first one we're going to show today is the Googan Squad Gold Finesse Rod. This one I got specifically for the Ned rig. I've paired it up with a Team Lowe's Custom Pro. I think this is a 2500 series spool, and this is specifically going to be for my Ned rigs. I will probably put 10-pound braided line on here and use maybe an 8-pound Seagar and Vizix leader. We'll see how that goes about the time we get ready for getting to the water, but that's the initial goal for this rod. Just like the other Gold Series rods, very light in the hand and very well balanced. I mean, I think I can probably put this, yeah, I mean, it's a very, very nice finesse rod. And this one's going to be specifically for Ned rigs and other little shaky heads, things like that. The next one I've added to the arsenal is the Googan Green Finesse Rod. Now, I have paired it up with this Team Lowe's Mach 2 reel since I broke the rod that this reel came with when I flipped over my kayak last year. And if anybody asks how I did that, I was trying to do some customized seat riser things, and they just didn't work. I actually solved the problem I was trying to solve with some Navarro seat risers that work perfectly. So this finesse rod is going to be for the other finesse techniques. You're talking your drop shots, shaky heads, things like that. I want to have a couple paired up and ready to go, especially as we start the season in cold water, waiting for those warmer days when you really have to slow down and fish those finesse techniques. But this is the Googan Squad Finesse Rod, and it's a 7-foot medium fast, but it's a really, really nice rod. And obviously, you know, I love the combo of the black and the green. It's 2 of my favorite colors. This one actually has the measuring piece built into it, and then they also use these green rods to show you the action of the rod. So this is a 7-foot fast tip, and as you can see, the action of the rod itself, where it's going to do most of its bending, is right here where they've highlighted in this green color. Now the third rod I added is going to be my crankbait rod. This is the Googan Squad Reaction Rod. Now some of you might be surprised because you see this Team Lowe's custom black reel on it, when you know that I've got a Mach 2 reel that I also broke the tip off of that casting rod. I figured I'd spread the green and black love out a little bit, but this rod is the reaction rod. It's a 7'2" medium moderate, and this is going to be that rod that I throw all the crankbaits on that you saw me unbox a few videos ago, minus the lipless crankbaits. My lipless crankbaits and my chatterbaits get thrown on one specific rod, and that is my St. Croix Rip and Chatter rod, paired up with my Team Lowe's Pro TI. 12-pound fluorocarbon Seagar in Vizix. This is my baby. This one will be going back and forth, obviously, between the boat and the kayak because it is a technique or 2 specific rod and reel combo that I have for throwing my favorite things. If you're wondering about my Lowe's Mach 2 reel, I dropped it on this Team Lowe's Custom Black, and I'll probably use it for throwing bandito bugs, things like that. Light Texas rig. So now for the boat arsenal, I've got plenty of rods. My 2 Team Lowe's Crush one spinning, one bait casting rod and reel combo, the Googan Squad muscle rod that's got my Lowe's skipping pitching reel, my go-to rod, which has my Lowe's Custom Pro on it, these two Finesse rods, and now a Crankbait Rod. So that covers me mostly for the techniques that I throw the most. And again, we'll get into the full arsenal of rods, reels, the line that I use on them. All of those will be coming up in future videos as we prepare to hit the water for the first time coming in spring. We're still 6-8 weeks out. It's still the middle of winter. It's still snowing and more snow coming. But hey, that's okay. So I suppose I should actually do an unboxing in this unboxing video, right? Well, I already unboxed my Googan Squad hat to go with my shirt from that boat place. Let's go ahead and get to this box that came from GooganSquad.com. First, we have the Googan Squad Bait Coffin 3700. This is a waterproof box. They teamed up with the guys at Bass Mafia. And the reason I got this is because we needed a good, solid solution for storing all of these lovely Googan Squad crankbaits. I don't throw a ton of crankbaits, but I wanted some place where they would stay safe, stay dry, and not get rusty. So that's what we got the Bait Coffin 3700 for. This will be in the boat. Now, the next thing in the box we got is what we're going to use for our first challenge in the cold water when we get the boat out on the water. Just because we're going to start having warmer days, it still takes a while in bigger bodies of water for the water to actually warm up. So we're going to be dealing with warmer days and still cold water. So I figured what else, or what would be better to start out the year than a money bag of more Googan bait. Now, what's special about this one? This one is the winter money bag that you can get on GooganSquad.com. So let's see what all they put together in the cold water winter money bag. First out of the bag is the Googan Squad Slim Shakes. Love them. These are in black and blue fleck. These I will be throwing on a shaky head on one of those Finesse rods. Next up, of course, Bandito bugs. These are black and blue fleck. Now, what are we going to throw those Bandito bugs on? Nothing better in cold water than a little juicy jig. This will be good for the muscle rod. Oh, look, a bait that's perfect for one of the Finesse rods, the Scout Junior. Now, I purposely didn't get a twitch rod because, hey, I like throwing light jerk baits like this on Finesse rods since I'm going to be fishing with light line anyway. But nothing better in cold water than a small jerk bait. And that little Finesse rod will be perfect for throwing this bait out and twitching it back. Oh, look at that. Beautiful red. The clutch and the sriracha crawl. Another lipless crankbait. Perfect solution for cold weather. This is going to be a fun challenge, I can already tell. But we're going to be ready. And we're going to have the right rods to match up with these baits perfectly. So I can demonstrate to you how good the Catch Smart system actually is. What else we got in here? Oh, some saucy swimmers. I might throw these on an underspin. And we can also throw these weightless and slowly twitch them along the bottom, pop them over the top of maybe some new coming in grass. You heard me talking in a previous video about the clickbait. The one reason why I like a clickbait in cold water, or at least I think I will, is that big blade that comes on these. This is going to be the equivalent of a spinnerbait with a Colorado blade on it, but in chatterbait style. So this is going to fish very slow, but you're going to have bunches and bunches of thump with this big blade. And I might take one of those saucy swimmers and trim the tail down to open up the action a little bit, but this is something, again, we can fish really slow in that cold water for these lethargic fish. And of course, last but not least, Rattling Neds. Perfect Ned rig, cold water, Finesse. This money bag of baits is going to be perfect for starting out the year in the cold water. And oh hey, look, a Googan Squad sticker. Perfect for the windshield of the Lowe Fishin Machine. So again, let's recap everything that came in this money bag. Ned rig worms, Rattling Neds, saucy swimmers. Oh, the Bandito bug. I'll actually take and put some of those on a shaky head as well, depending on the water. Got the Slim Shakes, sriracha. And if you want to see a close-up of all these baits, go watch my previous video because I've already got most of these baits already. And again, last but not least, a little juicy, my favorite jig of all of the Googan Squad jigs. This thing, it's slow, cold water, is going to be awesome. So again, here we go. We've talked about the boat, we've talked about rods and reels. We're talking about our first challenge in the boat. The first thing we're going to try to do is use nothing but these Moneybag baits in cold water and show how well they catch or don't catch fish. We're going to have fun finding out. So I'm loading up the boat with Googan baits, but we're going to talk about kayak stuff in future videos and what our game plan is there. Because we're not just going to throw Googan Squad stuff this year. We're going to open it up and test out all kinds of different things. Stay tuned. Now, if you haven't got in on the Go-To Bundle giveaway, go ahead and watch that video right here. Once you're done with that, hey, check out these videos. As always, go outside if you can. Make a memory. They last a lifetime.